We're going to take you through the facts of the Rafale case, assuming that you'd like to know everything bare-boned right from the beginning. Remember, the Modi government had signed a deal with France in 2016 for 36 Rafale aircraft. Now, to understand what the Congress is accusing the government of, they say that the government under Modi has paid up to 12,000 crore rupees too much for this deal, alleging corruption, ham-handed defense management, and conflict of interest in the people who will be executing this contract. In all, the Congress is accusing the Modi government of executing a Rafale scam. It's impinged on the issue of price, this 12,000 crore rupee scam that the Congress alleges. Well, here are the facts.
The roar of a fresh defense scandal. In the eye of this fresh storm, the Rafale fighter aircraft, 36 of which India has ordered, with deliveries to begin next year. But long before that, the 2016 deal by the Modi government has exploded in the political arena. The chief allegation by the Congress is that India is overpaying by at least 12,000 crore for 36 aircraft, and the Congress government itself had secured a better deal when it was in power. The comparisons don't really hold water, because they are essentially a comparison of apples and oranges. For instance, the Congress says it's negotiated a better price for 126 Rafales. But the truth is, it never even arrived at a deal, causing the process to collapse, while the Modi government did in fact close a deal in 2016. Therefore, any comparison of prices doesn't arise at all. Secondly, while the Congress has accused the Rafale deal price tag of nearly rupees 60,000 crore represents a massive overpayment, it doesn't factor in three crucial items absent from the UPA's Rafale weapons: performance-linked maintenance and India-specific upgrades, all costing nearly 3 billion euros. The Modi government, which itself revealed the financial details of the deal in Parliament months ago, now finds itself in the middle of a ferocious political chakravyuh of its own making. After failing to calmly explain the price details, it has sought to hide behind confidentiality agreement, fueling perceptions that it has something to hide. The biggest question is, if the truth is so plain and simple, why has the government pretended like it has something to hide? Bureau Report, India Today.
And remember, even at this stage, inexplicably, the government has still tied itself in knots over the issue of price, even though it has formally put figures out in Parliament by its very own junior Defence Minister Subhash Bhamre a few months ago. They've been hiding behind confidentiality clauses and tied themselves up into a myriad number of knots. The other issue, apart from price, is the allegation by the opposition that the Modi government has favored the Anil Ambani-led Reliance Defence, an offset partner of the Rafale's maker, into what is a sweet deal for a company that has no experience in defence manufacture. Well, once again, here are the facts.
राफेल हवाई जहाज सच्चाई है.
In a bruising run-up to the 2019 war, the battle over India's Rafale deal is proving to hold infinite ammunition. As the top dogs of Indian politics battle it out over the aircraft deal, the most stinging allegations from the opposition hasn't been about the price of the deal, but about Modi favouring the Ambani-owned Reliance.
He must answer in this house whether the Cabinet Committee for Security took this decision or not. The Prime Minister must also explain why this contract was taken away from HAL and the youngsters of Karnataka and given to a businessman who had a debt of 35,000 crores and has never ever built an aeroplane in his life. He must explain why a businessman has been favored.
The allegation hits hard at the perception that Modi has helped his friends in industry by handing them lucrative contracts. But let's examine first what the Congress is specifically alleging and whether it holds any water. While the Anil Ambani-owned Reliance Defence is to be the offset partner in the Rafale deal, the Congress says the Modi government denied such a partnership with the state-owned HAL. The truth, however, is that Dassault Aviation made the choice as it wasn't keen to work with HAL. Moreover, the Congress has made an erroneous suggestion that the UPA deal involved HAL, since in that case it was for actual manufacture, not offsets. The bigger sticking point, however, is the suggestion that the Ambani-owned company was favoured over other private firms with actual experience in defence. On this point, no satisfactory explanation has been forthcoming. The third allegation is that while the UPA government was negotiating for 126 Rafales, the Modi government signed up for only 36. The truth is a complicated but crucial one for India's strategic defence. The comparison doesn't really arise. Owing to budgetary and other issues, the NDA government's deal included a crucial nuclear delivery role for the Rafales that did not exist in earlier negotiations. Therefore, these aircraft went above and beyond just fighter aircraft for the Air Force and into strategic delivery territory. Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining me live now on the big face-off over the Rafale deal. We're joined by Executive Editor, India Today, Sandeep Punithan, who's written extensively on the Rafale deal itself, Narendra Taneja of the BJP, and Mohammad Khan of the Congress Party. Sandeep, I want to come to you first before we go to the politicians. And we've got more stories. First on the politics of the Rafale deal, which appear to be self-sustaining and self-fueling now in the run-up to 2019. And we also have 10 undeniable truths. In the mix of all the variables and the political unknowns, there are 10 truths we can all agree on. I'll be playing that out for you in just a moment. But Sandeep, as of now, the questions being raised by the Congress Party appear to have a great deal of weight. What do you owe this to? Is the government looking defensive and not putting out facts? Has it fumbled over facts that are in its possession? What explains a plain and simple deal becoming such a huge controversy so fast?
Well, Shiv, the government is clearly tying itself in knots, as you mentioned. There is no reason that they should withhold the commercial price of this aircraft from the opposition. In fact, President Macron, in an exclusive interview to Raj Chingappa of India Today, mentioned this very fact. He did say that there was a confidentiality agreement, but in the very same breath he said that it was up to the government to decide what it wanted to tell the opposition and indeed to the Indian Parliament. So it's actually baffling why the government is withholding the price. And of course, Shiv, the other aspect is that as you well know, the CAG is looking into the Rafale deal as well.
Yes.
So it's only a matter of time before the actual truth of the commercial negotiations of the Rafale aircraft are placed before Parliament.
So it's only a matter of time before all the facts become public, when the government could have simply put these facts out in public before, which they actually had in Parliament earlier. But Narendra Taneja of the BJP, considering what a big controversy this has become, with allegations stopping not even short of the Congress alleging the personal corruption of Prime Minister Modi, has the BJP messed up? Has the BJP government messed up by trying to hide behind agreements instead of just putting out information that was already out there? Mr. Taneja?
No, but where is the mess up? And the question is that you say that there is a controversy. Controversy being raised by whom? People have no credibility. People are known for corruption. The family that's known for corruption.
No, but answer the substantive question, sir.
The people of India
we'll get to the Congress in a moment. Answer the substantive question on the price issue of the Rafale.
No. The question is that have you heard the defense minister also on that? And in your own report also, you see these fighter aircraft are not used for general use. These are for strategic use and for very special purposes. These have been customized for Indian Air Force requirement for a certain, specific reasons. And this is a very special equipment after the upgrade. Now, the moment you start sharing all the details, including the price, our enemies will decode immediately what exactly the aircraft would be carrying and what kind of the delivery system it is. And they would prepare accordingly. The Congress, well, that's your interpretation. I respect that. But listen to me what I'm saying. Now the question is that, if those who are criticizing and those who are trying to politicize the issue, they want to suggest there are some people who have taken bribe, please come out. Give us the evidence. Say you have taken money. Say you are corrupt. And say that, if you have the evidence, give it to the people. Give it to the media. What's the problem?
Okay.
Now, tell me one thing. Have you ever seen the president of a party? President of a party meets the visiting French president, and whatever has been discussed there comes out and reveals it. Who is going to trust such a person? Ever? Do you think people of India would trust such a person?
Mohammad Khan,
or any foreign dignity would trust such a person?
Mohammad Khan is the Congress.
Now the question is that if basically between the lines you are saying the government is corrupt.
Yes, sir. Mohammad Khan.
And nobody is going to buy it.
No, we'll get to that point.
People have no credibility.
We'll get to the crossfire in just a moment, Narendra.
They have no credibility.
Mohammad Khan, given that figures have come out at various fora, including in Parliament by Minister of State Subhash Bhamre. Dassault Aviation, the maker of this aircraft, has put it out in its annual financial, filings, etc., etc. It's a very simple question, Mohammed. Is the opposition really looking for the facts now, or have you guys tasted blood and it's no longer about the facts? Now it's about politics, and that's justifiable because the government is sounded defensive.
Right, sir. Okay, I'll answer that. First of all, let me preface what I'm about to say with the following. Taneja साहब, मैंने बिना किसी दखल-अंदाजी के आपकी बात सुनी. I'm certain that you will extend me the same courtesy. Look, Shiv, if it looks like a scam, it walks like a scam, it smells like a scam, it probably is a scam. And we, in the opposition in Parliament, have a constitutional duty to expose the government when it does things like this. I must commend you on a fantastic report. You've covered the 4 major points. If Subhash Bhamre was not constrained in 2015 to reveal the base price when there was a secrecy agreement in 2008, why now?
Fair question.
About the Dassault report. When Dassault, the manufacturer of Rafale, is giving the entire price, आपको क्या आपत्ति हो रही है? Number 3, when Nirmala Sitharaman ji comes out, says I will give you the figures, and then suddenly does a U-turn, flip-flops, and says no, I cannot, and relies on this security agreement which didn't hamstring you in 2015, questions will be asked. When the Prime Minister, Taneja ji, this is important, when the Prime Minister flies to France without convening a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security, makes a significant change to the terms of the deal, removes HAL, puts in a private party who you very well know, then questions will be asked. और 100 बातों की एक बात, मैं डिबेट यहीं खत्म कर देता हूँ.
No, but there are problems in those issues as well.
I don't understand. You are a responsible party, apparently. Why don't you call us? I'll just explain. Look, why don't you call our senior leaders for a private meeting? Disclose the price to them. This has happened in the past.
So are you saying there's still an opportunity for that, Mohammed?
But you don't even trust your
colleagues. Is there still an opportunity for a closed-door meeting between the two sides to end this issue?
Let them call us, Shiv. They won't even be... Shiv, absolutely. Look, they have to disclose before the CAG and the PAC. This is money spent from the consolidated fund of India. It's money that belongs to you and me.
So this is interesting.
Being used for the defense of our nation.
Okay,
so
okay.
We have a right
Sandeep,
to know.
I want to bring Sandeep in. Sandeep, isn't this interesting?
Allow me some time now.
Yeah, Mr. Taneja, I'm just coming to you. I'm just coming to you. I'm coming to you, Mr. Taneja, but I want to bring Sandeep back in. Sandeep, this is interesting. Even at a time when this controversy is completely blown up, it's become so loud that the facts have started to blur and mesh into each other, you still have the Congress saying, invite us for a meeting, let's have this discussion behind closed doors and bury this. Given the fact that so far there has been nothing to suggest that there is a scam, Sandeep, do you think this is feasible amidst all this politics for the two sides to actually talk and bury this issue?
Well, absolutely, Shiv. And we have the precedent of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence, where you have the Vice Chiefs of the Army, the Navy and the Air Force, who behind closed doors give the most sensitive briefings at times to the members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee who are drawn from all political parties. And at times they are told that this is highly classified, this is restricted, this cannot be reported, cannot be repeated. In fact, they go to a great extent to conceal that information which is given to them at times. And it's mentioned that this is privileged information, cannot be discussed. So what I'm saying is that there is a precedent to this, and I fail to understand why the government refuses to take the opposition on board and discuss such an important issue as this one.
This is a very constructive point that Sandeep has raised, and Mohammed has opened the door to that. Mr. Taneja, you can respond to Mohammed Khan, but do address that issue about whether it's possible for the government to take the opposition on board right now, politics aside, and address an issue of national security importance.
Now the question is that who do you talk with? Sonia ji has practically retired, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi can't be trusted. He met with the visiting French president, and look what he did. He will go to meet the Chinese ambassador, reveal everything. Who knows?
So it's bad blood. Bad blood is preventing this from happening.
You see, the point here is, this is a deal. No, listen. The question is that this is a deal between the Republic of India and Republic of France. Unlike many other deals that they did, this is between two sovereigns, two countries, two governments. And you see, number two, the question is that what is dissolved? Is it a state-owned company? Tell me. Ask the Congress spokesman. But I'm sure he knows. Is it a state? No, it's a private company.
I have a small corollary question, sir.
And they have a very good equipment. Now the question, they didn't want to deal with HL.
Okay. That's correct. That's correct. Your point is correct, Mr. Taneja, on the HL part. That your point is correct. In fact, our report also said that.
No. Let me. I didn't interrupt.
So can I answer, Mr. Taneja, now?
I'll come to you,
The question is that when you are going for this, and your focus is that eventually you want to actually these planes to be made in India as part of the Make in India campaign. That's the plan. And if they are more comfortable, we don't believe that private sector is bad, like the Congress party. Sanjay Gandhi, probably the most the icon they love. He started Maruti company. What experience did he have? Did he have any experience? You gave him the license. And today Maruti is a big name.
So
instead, you say Maruti is not a big name. They control 50% of automobile market. There are tons of examples. If you just give allow. Now the question here is the problem is that where is this? The question is that they Congress party they scam everywhere.
The 2 points
they scam everywhere because it's in their DNA.
The 2 points that have been raised is Mohammed, the BJP is basically slammed the door in the Congress's face, saying we can't have these closed door discussions because we don't trust Rahul Gandhi, and Sonia Gandhi is retired, therefore we don't know who to talk to, and there is a trust issue with Rahul Gandhi. How would you respond to that? And I have a secondary question, Mohammed. Note down the second question also, which is, has this been about factual allegations or has this been innuendo-based stuff that to create this aura of a scam here? 2 questions for you, Mohammed. Answer both.
Right. Shiv, so first of all, Mr. Taneja, I am so surprised you hide behind the smoke screen of animosity and bitterness. You forget that these people who are in parliament asking you questions have also been elected by the people to represent them. They are an integral part of our parliamentary democracy. They are the check and balance that holds you to account. You cannot turn away and say, because we don't trust you, we can't give you the answers. You will have to, whether you like it or not, and that is something you know. Number 2, Shiv, the answer to your question is this. Look, at the end of the day, their reluctance, and this is the thing about the Congress party, Shiv. Every single fact that you alluded to in your report was put out in the Congress over the last 48 hours and even before that. We have been raising this on the basis of pure, unadulterated facts because that is what the Congress does. We don't rely on fake news like our Prime Minister. We don't rely on manufactured versions of history.
No, but like Mohammed, many of those questions have been answered. They've been fact-checked. Explanations have been provided by us here on India Today.
Justify our thievery today. Let the government, but Shiv, with due respect, that isn't your remit or your responsibility.
No,
That's
sure,
the responsibility of the government.
As journalists, we're doing a fact check of certain things.
Capable enough of coming out and saying, we made a decision and we stand behind it.
But Narendra...
Let them answer that, Shiv. Let them say that here are the figures, we present them before you.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Narendra Taneja, surely the opposition has a constitutional role in questioning the government on certain issues. Can you slam the door on the government and say, we don't trust them, this person is retired, this person is untrustworthy, and therefore we don't owe them any explanations? Wouldn't this entire political controversy have been avoided had there been a certain amount of trust between the government and the opposition, or have things just reached a stage where bad blood is really the only ruler we have in this country?
No, listen, allow me some time. I didn't interrupt even once to Mr.
Please.
Whatever you were saying, Mr. Khan. You see, the point here is very simple. The question is, if you behave like a responsible opposition, you create a very different kind of, environment in parliament and outside the parliament. But they don't, you see, it's not the Congress of Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh. It's a Congress of the people where they talk irresponsibly. Look what they do in parliament. All the tamasha, hugging the Prime Minister, asking the Prime Minister to get up. And did Sonia Gandhi ever behave like that? Never. Never. Dr. Manmohan Singh? Never. Indira Gandhi? Never. Nehru? Never.
So it is about bad blood and lack of trust then.
You call it a Congress working committee, but the entire city is present there. You see, you call it the Congress working committee meeting, the pura shahar mein basa hua hai. Entire city is there attending the Congress working committee. It's a different kind of beast. So what problem is that, you come to parliament,
so
on the floor of parliament, you embarrass 1.3 billion Indians, because the French president, you say you have a private conversation with the French president, and you come in and you start talking about irresponsibility, and even the French are never going to trust this party and this man. Now the question here is, moreover, you would engage. Just a minute, last sentence. You would still engage, but the problem is that they have manufactured something and they want to build it into a scam and market it. But by the way, Rahul Gandhi is not capable of marketing even a mouse.
Okay.
Forget about this thing.
I'm just coming to you, Mohammed.
He's trying to create something with
Mohammed has a right to respond to that.
He's seeing both ways.
I want to just bring Sandeep in for one comment. I just want to bring Sandeep in, then I'm coming to you, Mohammed. Sandeep, we're not suggesting that Narendra Taneja and Mohammed Khan represent the government. They represent the parties that are on the two sides, Sandeep. But would you say that this is now representative of an impasse as far as the Rafale deal is concerned, and that the only real, forward movement is going to be when the Comptroller and Auditor General publishes its report on the Rafale deal? Before that, it's going to be all politics.
Absolutely, Shiv. I mean, this is just a big debate about nothing, really. I mean, once the CAG report is tabled in the Parliament, all the facts will be in front of people, and until then, there's just a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. And that's unfortunately what we've reduced this very important acquisition that the Rafale is. We've just reduced this to asinine debate that we're talking about, this and corruption and prices. And whereas the actual question, Shiv, is why are we buying only 36 aircraft? You clearly know that the requirement for that is 126 aircraft. And why are we buying only 2 squadrons? The Air Force has been crying hoarse for the last many years that we are losing something to the extent of 15 squadrons in the next decade. Where are those numbers going to be made up from? 36 is not an adequate number.
Absolutely.
And that, unfortunately, is where we are losing sight of that debate.
And that could be endangered as well. Mohammed, before I take a break, one quick comment from you.
Yeah. Taneja sahab, very, very quickly. The difference between us and you is the following. When on 2G and CWG and coal, you demanded debates and answers in Parliament with the Prime Minister present, Dr. Manmohan Singh sat there, listened to you, looked you in the eyes, answered your questions. Ultimately, all your claims turned out to be empty. But we did not deprive you of the chance to ask your questions because we believed you had a constitutional responsibility to ask those questions. आखिर में कुछ नहीं निकला, मगर आज जो आपकी बौखलाहट और घबराहट है बातें छुपाने को, ये बात तो साबित हो गई तनेजा साहब, चाहे कांग्रेस को कितनी गालियां दे दे, आप लोगों को हमने पकड़ लिया है. I'm going to, no matter what you say or do, we will get to the bottom of this.
I'm going to take a very quick break.
You are in the habit of seeing ghosts. you are creating ghosts. It's not going to help. You will lose whatever credibility you are left with.
Okay.
You will lose even that credibility.
We're going to continue this face-off after this very short break.
People don't trust you.
You know, amidst all the sound and fury, like Sandeep just put it, and the smoke and mirrors, and the shadow boxing over a deal that impinges on India's national defense and national security, there are 10 things that we can all agree on. 10 undeniable truths of the Rafale deal controversy. I'm going to list them for you with our guests, Sandeep, Mohammed and... You're back on the big India Today spotlight on the fierce Rafale deal controversy that's been burning over the last few days. What we've done here on India Today is give you the facts from both sides and you can decide who's right or wrong. The one thing that's undeniable right now is the politics of the Rafale deal and the damage it is perhaps going to be causing in the run-up to the 2019 elections. From inside Parliament to outside Parliament to the most extreme of allegations without there really being any evidence to suggest that there is a scam in this important defense deal. Take a look.
और फ्रांस के राष्ट्रपति ने मुझे बताया कि ऐसा कोई पैक्ट हिंदुस्तान की सरकार और फ्रांस की सरकार के बीच में नहीं है.
It was on Friday that Congress President reignited the Rafale firestorm, accusing the defense minister of lying about the 36 fighter plane deal with France. And 2 days later, Rafale fire is still raging. Early morning, Rahul Gandhi fired another salvo at the defense minister and the prime minister, declaring the French fighter plane deal smelled like a scam. The Congress party upped the ante, pulling out its big guns, including former defense minister A.K. Antony. Taking a lead from Rahul Gandhi, Congress top leadership demanded the defense minister reveal the price of the deal.
The price negotiated during our time might have substantially reduced without these two conditions. Instead of that, this government procured the aircraft much substantially higher price. That is why this government is reluctant to reveal actual details.
So if you carefully look at the pricing, they are sought to cover what would have been the contract value for 126 in 36. This needs to be answered.
But that's not all. The Congress is all set to move a privilege motion against the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister. As the Rafale dogfight explodes, Aam Aadmi Party too has thrown its hat in the ring, pointing out to the discrepancies in the cost revealed by Modi government in 2016 and then in 2017.
घोटाला बहुत बड़ा है. पार्लियामेंट के अंदर अगर एक मंत्री सदन के अंदर झूठ बोलता है, झूठे पेपर देता है, तो ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा घोटाला है, बहुत बड़ा मामला है सदन को गुमराह करने का. पार्लियामेंट को मिसलीड करने का मामला हम लोग दोनों सदनों में नोटिस उसके लिए देंगे और इस पे मंत्री को सदन के सामने, देश के सामने अपनी बात रखनी चाहिए.
The BJP is not taking the allegations lying down. 4 of its MPs have already submitted a notice in the parliament against Congress chief, accusing him of levelling false allegations against Prime Minister and Defence Minister Sitaraman.
राहुल गांधी झूठा हैं, भरम फैलाना चाहते हैं. अगर उनमें हिम्मत है तो सबूत निकालें.
देखिए, राहुल गांधी जी को पहली बात है देश से क्षमा मांगना चाहिए, क्षमा याचना करनी चाहिए. पहली बार इट इज अनप्रेसिडेंटेड इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द इंडियन पार्लियामेंट्स नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन कि कोई तीसरा देश उसमें चिट्ठी भेज रहा है.
With allegations and counter allegations flying thick and fast, expect the Rafale firestorm to get even bigger in the run-up to election 2019. Bureau Report, India Today.
Narendra, Taneja of the BJP is still with us. Mohammed Khan from the Congress, Executive Editor, India Today, Sandeep Punithan, and also joining us now, Shruti Ranjan Sen, Editor, Defence at India Today Television. Shruti, I want to come to you right now so you can tell us where the government is at. Where's the Ministry of Defence at in this entire controversy now? It's become a war of privilege motions, against Rahul Gandhi, against Nirmala Sitharaman. What is the government's next step going to be?
Well, Shiv, from what we are getting to understand, it's going to be fought through these privilege motions and accusations and counter-accusations that we are seeing has been happening not from now but for some time now.
Yeah.
In a way, it's been badly handled because, these kind of situations we have seen happening earlier. And previously we have seen governments either calling the opposition or, walking over to the opposition and giving them a quiet briefing saying, these are the sensitivities. This is where it stands. And, there is no need to go public with these details. We have seen that happening when we bought the Sukhoi 30s at a time when the Sukhoi 30s were, just on the drawing board. And Russia then, because the Soviet Union had collapsed, had come to us saying that unless you buy these aircrafts, we are going to be in trouble. Mulayam Singh used to be the defense minister, and he reached out to the opposition, and even today not a single question is asked about the Sukhoi deal.
Yeah.
Because mind you, at that point of time we bought something which is not really there. And perhaps at a cost, you could go back and argue that, well, the cost is higher or lesser, but then that is how you handle it politically.
Yeah, absolutely. Sandeep, before I go to our political guests, that's a very important point, like you were referring to as well, that there is a precedent for these briefings, for, reaching out across political lines and making people understand. Having said that, and I'll ask our political guests that question about whether that reaching out is even possible in this very hostile atmosphere. But Sandeep, how potentially badly is this current controversy likely to affect the armed forces themselves? Because they need aircraft desperately. Nobody is saying that questions must not be asked, but the potential for delays, vulnerability of future deals all suggests that this could be trouble ahead for the armed forces.
Absolutely, Shiv. And in fact, more than the armed forces, I'm worried about the impact that this controversy is going to have on the bureaucracy. Now, at the first sign of trouble, the bureaucracy goes into a freeze mode, and I'm afraid this is likely to happen in the months ahead, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. The bureaucracy is going to go down into a complete shutdown mode because they are not sure of what the outcome of the next election is, and until then, they are not going to take any decisions on very significant purchases like the Rafale. I wouldn't be surprised if this even applies to very critical deals like the S-400 missile, for instance.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a tremendous downstream effect of this kind of controversy. Every time a defense deal is politicized,
yes,
we have seen this happen so often in the past. Every time it's politicized, the impact is on the armed forces because the bureaucracy doesn't want to take a decision. They postpone it, they postpone decision making, they put files into orbit, and I'm afraid this is likely to happen with this case as well.
Mohammed, considering the Bofors hangover, and the Congress is well versed with the politicization of defense deals, causing political damage, but has the Congress been fully responsible even in execution of its duty as an opposition? Because in this particular case, without full factual evidence, Rahul Gandhi has gone on record to allege the personal corruption of Prime Minister Modi. So nobody is really thinking of national security here. It's about political point scoring before an election, Mohammed.
Right, so I want to go back to what Mr. Sen was saying about the MiGs and the Sukhois.
Yeah.
I would like to add to that and tell you and your viewers that on 11th March 2010, Defence Minister A.K. Antony presented on the floor of Parliament the prices we paid per MiG and per Sukhoi. There were security agreements back then, but we believed our obligation to tell the nation of how its money was spent far outweighed those. Number two, look, to paraphrase Bertrand Russell, nationalism is always the last refuge of a scoundrel. This government can say nationalism, national defense, etc., which is why I proposed the Via Media, and other Congress spokespersons have been saying it as well. Tell our leaders, they are constitutional office bearers. You may personally have contempt for them, but they have nothing but a commitment to their duty for what people have elected them for. Call them in, tell them how much you paid, and if you have nothing to hide, you will be vindicated. But that is where the rub lies, Shiv. Because we have caught them, and because of the 7 pieces of evidence we presented before them, they haven't been able to rebut a single one. Reply to a single one. Ask why Subhash Bhamre gave one price if you didn't change the deal. Ask why the Cabinet Committee on Security was not allowed to meet. Ask why a private developer was appointed. You don't answer for them, Shiv. Let them answer that. They haven't come out with an answer yet, and that is why it shows you they don't have a spine or an answer.
Narendra, Taneja, is it possible that the government has itself, even with all the facts, armed with all the facts like Sandeep said, has only itself to blame for this situation? because of this lack of trust and the bad blood that exists when this thing could have easily been dealt with? Has the government shot itself in the foot?
No. You see, lies have a very short shelf-life, and especially if it's coming from leaders like Rahul Gandhi. So we're not worried about it. The first thing first, our Indian Air Force will get the equipment they need, and we will do whatever we can, in order to make sure that our armed forces have the latest and the best equipment available to them, election or no election. We are not a party who really think only in terms of election. Number three, important thing is that, that is this whole deal where the Rafale has been going on much before we came to power. Negotiations have been going on, confidentiality, other agreements have been in place and all that.
Okay.
What we have done is that this has been done from state to state level. Republic of India, Republic of many people in the process who in the times of Congress used to make millions. They are very unhappy with us. What kind of government is this? And those people have got close links with the Congress party. We all know that. You see, so they are the people, they might have been even, doing whatever they are doing. We don't know.
Okay.
But quite possible. But the Congress party.
No, so
Congress party, the, cockroaches of the world and all that. We don't know.
That's what this is about. This is about the allegations and counter allegations. Who's close to who?
We don't know that.
Who's talking to who? The shady deals. That's where the allegations are. But
let me complete.
Yeah, complete.
Let me complete, please.
Complete.
Point I'm trying to make is very simple. Congress party is trying to manufacture something. We know how to explain these things. The people of India, not even a single Indian except Rahul Gandhi, even a spokesman will change. You will just wait for some time. Except one man and maybe one family, okay. They know Bharatiya Janata Party, the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party is above all these things. People of India know.
So basically,
we will to the communicate. We will have
Mohammed, the BJP says this is the Congress looking at this as a kind of slam dunk situation before the elections, and nothing more, nothing less. It's going to fall flat. Mohammed, quick reaction, then I want to go to the undeniable truths of this case.
Taneja sahab, very, very quickly. Taneja sahab, with respect, nothing that you said qualified as fact, it was all political opinion. Number two, sir, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, sir, listen to me. Sir, listen to me, I didn't interrupt you. Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, Vijay Mallya, all left the country. Have you held anyone accountable for these breaches or lapses on the part of the government that let them run away when Mallya's LOC was suspended? Has anyone been held to account for that? No. Because you are a cowardly government. You are petrified of investigating because you know that a scam has been found out. That's why you're trying to hide under the smoke screen and tell us that there's nothing, don't trust the Congress. But we have caught you. That is why Shiv and the others are asking you these questions today. It is an eminently reasonable question to ask. Why have you spent our money? And don't talk to me about defense, because in March of this year, the Standing Committee report on defense revealed that you cut the budget for essential services. Read the testimony of Lieutenant General Saratchan, and then you will find out what a hypocritical government you are. You never shy away from taking credit for the armed forces victory. You never take, you never hesitate to shoot off the army shoulder for your personal political campaign. And today you are standing here and lecturing us on nationalism. Shame on you. You are the biggest threat to this nation's unity, sir. You are the biggest threat to this nation's protection abroad and image abroad. Sir, you represent a party of liars.
We understand.
You represent a party that is mired in a history that
we understand that.
I think you should be embarrassed to even stand for the case like this.
The interest of merchants of death.
You should stand here and
know that.
Okay.
You represent the interest of people.
Let's not talk over each other, gentlemen.
You represent them. And that's why the pain in your stomach.
Allow me in right now.
You are upset because of the state deal. Those people are not involved.
This is precisely what that sounded from me. This is what the Rafale debate has actually come down to. It doesn't matter anymore what the facts really are.
That's your leader,
not
our leader.
Mr. Taneja, Mr. Khan, moment please. I just want to play out a report for you right now to all of our viewers and to our guests right now, which is, the initial statement that we made, that in the middle of all this political noise, do the facts really matter anymore? If the BJP reaches out to the Congress right now, will it matter anymore? Is the Congress tasting so much political blood in this issue? Is it even in the mood to listen to reason and to facts anymore? These are all big questions, and that's why we've put together this report in the middle of so many variables and uncertainties in this deal for Rafale aircraft. Here are the 10 undeniable truths that we've listed in this controversy.
Make no mistake, the Congress party won't be letting go of this one. Prepare for the Rafale to be an everyday headline in the run-up to the 2019 elections. The Rahul Gandhi-led Congress has tasted blood, and its appetite for a political feast has just gotten stronger. On India Today, we have given you the state of the play, the facts, the figures, and the truth. But where does this leave India? We bring you 10 undeniable truths in the exploding Rafale controversy. First off, while the government has all the facts, it has fumbled and contradicted itself, ending up sounding defensive and with something to hide. Therefore, offering facts now won't matter. The opposition, which is rightly asking questions, doesn't have all the facts, but has tasted blood from the government's caginess and therefore won't listen, even if facts are offered now. It is beyond certain now that the Rafale issue won't be dying down anytime soon. It will now have the top billing as a campaign issue for 2019. While there are legitimate questions and allegations of corruption, no evidence has yet emerged suggesting a scam. The truth is, the Rahul Gandhi-led Congress is now looking not so much for facts about the deal, but to cause perceptual damage to Modi before the elections, and it may be succeeding. The bigger truth is that the French government, drawn into the political battle, India's already dodgy international reputation in defense procurement matters stands damaged even more. Of course, the Rafale deal itself is now vulnerable going forward. In a country where deals have been cancelled even after deliveries of items have begun, the sword could be hanging over the Rafale deal too. And don't forget, the Indian Air Force and Navy are also looking for more fighters. Possibly the Rafale, the current quagmire creates difficulties for the Rafale going forward, rendering it something of a hot potato, scam or no scam. It is beyond clear that all big defense deals will now be fair game in election season. So expect other deals to be dug up for political point scoring. And finally, the war of the defense deals before 2019 could very well be Rafale deal versus Augusta-Westland VVIP chopper deal, with the BJP and the Congress at each other's throats to establish guilt and find more dirt. With less than a year to go, expect more blood in the defense arena. That's the truth. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that's really what it boils down to, doesn't it? More blood, more dirt in the defense arena. Sandeep, I want to get a last word in from you. Less than a year to go for the national election. The Rafale deal, the VVIP chopper scam has re-erupted now with a charge sheet being filed. Are we likely to see these two headline-grabbing stories go one-to-one in a face-off between the BJP and the Congress? The VVIP chopper scam and its implications versus the Rafale deal and its own implications.
Without a doubt, Shiv, I mean, if the government is going to attack the Congress with the Augusta-Westland VVIP chopper scam, then the Congress is going to come back and say, hey, look, what about the Rafale scam? You know, so it's like this thing of equivalence between the two BJP and the Congress, and unfortunately the armed forces are going to be the sufferers in this.
And they're going to be the sufferers in this. That's the one truth really that nobody can really argue about. Sandeep, Shudhi Ranjan, Narendra, Taneja, Mohammad Khan, thank you very much. This was a fruitful discussion. There was a lot of fighting. I think that's what the sound and fury over Rafale politics really boils down to. But let's hope there can be some way through this fresh controversy. Less than a year to go for the election. Make no mistake, this is going to be a big campaign issue. Thanks for watching 5 Live. The news continues with Preeti on the other side.